Welcome to the Bossticks, starring Lauryn Bosstick and Michael Bosstick. Together, they are the Bosticks.
Okay, Alyssa Lynch is here. We kicked Michael off the episode because we wanted to have some girl talk, and I think that this episode just didn't need his interjections. If I'm being honest.
I love his interjections. But
We're going to go all over the place. We're going to talk about healing old trauma, energy healers, periods, beauty, health, wellness, skin. And let's just do a feminine energy. Next time you come on, we'll do both.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So give us a little bit of background on the journey that you have been on the last couple of years, because it's been intense.
It has, yeah. Well, going back to when I moved to LA, I think it kind of started. I was 19 and I moved here and I was really excited. I was in a relationship, and that's kind of when I got started with social media because he was in the business. And I kind of judged it at first, and then I was like, this actually is just a way to like be creative. I mean, this was in 2016, right? So it was a way to just be creative and have the freedom to do kind of whatever you wanted. And it was a really traumatizing breakup. I know I was only 20 or 21 when the breakup happened, but I was so in love and in fantasy land, and I thought we were buying a house together and having kids together and all these things. He started to get really spiritual, and that's when I've always had a spirituality thing inside of me that I've always wanted to explore as well. And so I think I took that as like permission. And I was 21. I was like, I'm booking myself this yoga retreat. I met so many lovely girls, and thank goodness for that, because when I got home, I had only been gone for 6 days, but he had done some type of spiritual drug, which I know is a beautiful experience for some people, but I think with maybe some of his chemical imbalances that it set something off. I mean, he was in a psychosis, and it was traumatizing. He wouldn't snap out of it.
A psychosis is traumatizing, but it's so traumatizing for another person to experience as well. And this is not the same, but similar. My brother has diabetes, and he had a seizure in front of me, and I feel like that's kind of like a psychosis. And
totally.
And of course, it's traumatic for the person having the seizure,
right.
But I just remember, and I'm sure you felt the same, being so affected by,
oh my goodness,
by seeing that as someone you love.
It was also hard because it wasn't, there was so much like ego that I was being told that I was crazy. And yeah, it was so interesting that, he really questioned his sexuality and thought that he was in love with a man, and also would do things like meditate at the wheel and get in car accidents from it. No, it was like, my mother was like, sweetheart, come home to Canada, please. And then now now I can laugh about it, and people are like, you need to write like a cliche Los Angeles book, because that stuff only like happens in stories and movies, but it was reality. And I was just I didn't have any friends here. I didn't have a life here. Which was my mistake, and I learned from that, but I was inserted into his life, and I didn't create my own life. And so then having to try and get out of that was really tough. I had health issues come up, and my period stopped, and I lost a lot of weight, and I had such crazy insomnia. I didn't sleep for 2.5 years.
This is wild.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that this relationship like affected your entire identity.
Yeah, I think it really, really affected my nervous system. I think my nervous system went into complete like shutdown mode. And so I have been working since then to heal my nervous system. And I've never shared that story before. So a lot of people, and I am a sensitive person, and I know, like, I think you can relate. I've heard you talk about even like when you walk into a room, if it's really fragrant, you're like, ugh,
Oh, the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. I'm like, I gotta stay at hotels that have no fragrance.
Yeah.
So even on that like physical level, I've always been like that. But I do think this certain circumstance really set something off, and the hypersensitivity after that was just like really intense.
I think that when you're at capacity with your nervous system already, and so many of us are because of all these overhead lights and the fragrances and all the different things that are in the world of the food, and then something like that happens, it's like your thermometer like just cracks.
Yeah.
And from what I'm seeing in front of me and what I've seen on your social media is it seems like after this horrible relationship, you went through a lot, but it seems like you also have had this really healing journey of, and I could be wrong, this is my feeling, of learning to love yourself.
For sure.
So when I would think when you enter into your next relationship, and you'll have to take us on with that story, but like it seems like you entered in your first one, depending on him, and then the second one or the next one, maybe you entered loving yourself.
Absolutely. I think my biggest lesson in this life, or in this era, like my 20s era, is my biggest lessons are through relationships. Like I have been in relationships. Like I've been in 5 serious relationships, and they've been years long. And in between, I'm very single in the sense of like, I'm not dating. I'm spending all of that time on myself. But I've learned so much, and it's funny how you can get into a relationship after a traumatizing one, and it's just filling the voids that weren't present in the last one. But it doesn't mean it's right. But you're so obsessed with the fact that you're like, oh my gosh, I've never gotten physical touch, and now I'm getting it with this person, but it doesn't mean that it's right. So I've just like learned so much about myself throughout my relationships.
What has it been like for you to have a platform and to have all these people who are wanting to know what happened, and you're just not maybe ready to share every last detail right when you're in it?
Yeah, I think I'm an extremely empathetic person. And so even when someone has hurt me and done things that are just like so not okay, I'm so protective over them still. And I just have this sense of like, it's not just my business, it's theirs too. And I just can't share that. So I think that's been, but I'm also, it's hard because it's like I'm fighting myself, because I'm also a very open person. And I think the most healing thing is talking and being able to be super vulnerable. And then, when someone can relate or when someone feels seen, like that's the best feeling to me.
When you were going through this on social and you started to have like this nervous system breakdown, how much did you end up sharing and how much did you save for yourself? And is there anything that you want your people who follow you to know that you were like, maybe something that they didn't know was going on behind the scenes that now you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I really leaned into wellness after that breakup, because I was like, felt like I was dying. So I needed all of these wellness habits. It was very obvious. I was 90 pounds. I definitely... I think the word eating disorder is like, it's never something I was diagnosed with because I never saw a professional. And I just think it's so complex. I look back and I'm like, I don't even know if that's an eating disorder, because I think I was just so my nervous system was so out of whack that I was afraid to put certain things into my body because I didn't want to feel worse.
I also, when I get really, really sad about something, I think some people, they gain weight and some people lose weight.
Totally.
I get sick to like even the thought of food when I'm really upset about something. And so you're right, that is a complex word.
It is.
It's almost like the relationship ending activated that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about eating disorders, but I just know that sometimes you get so sad and you get so depleted that you just don't want to look at food.
Exactly. And I think a lot of the time people can just think it's, oh, you're just obsessed with your weight and being thin. And it's like that actually, I didn't even have the capacity to really think about that then.
It's a lot more complex.
So
I think,
complex.
From when I've interviewed people who have experienced that. It's not so simple as being vapid about the way you look.
Totally.
That's an important message, I think.
Yeah.
And I think just because social media shows up in images, that's what, people think.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more sometimes going on behind the scenes that people don't see. And I think like people, like for stories, take stories. You see 3 to 5 minutes of someone's day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you don't see my daughter having a tantrum,
right.
or like there's so many idiosyncrasies and things that happen throughout the day that you just don't see.
It's so true.
And I think that it's important to give people grace.
1,000%. And I feel like it's starting hopefully to go in more of that direction, because we were in a direction a couple of years ago that gave truly nobody grace, just full assumptions. So I really hope so. So that was definitely one. And then I think like the next relationship I got into, and I did share a lot about that. I mean, I moved in with that person the day COVID hit.
Oh.
And
the next relationship, you had to quarantine right away with this person.
Right away with someone who is clinically extremely anxious, hypochondriac. And I am someone, like I said, like I'm so empathetic that it has really hurt me, because when I see someone sad, I just like go into fix help mode. And I mean, because my mom had me in high school, my dad was in high school. Like I just felt like from a really young age, just trying to make sure like I'm not in anyone's way and everything's like really solid and good. And, when your parents are teenagers, like they have emotions. And so you can almost come up with ways as a really young child to try and find ways to calm people and to make them happy. And it's like, it's your number one focus. And so that happened again during quarantine. And I talked to so many people who are like, this is bad to say, but like quarantine was the best. It was amazing. It was when we all just got together. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish my quarantine was horrible.
That's interesting that your parents had you in high school.
Yeah.
If I had my children now in high school, I would be a completely different parent than I am now. In fact, if I had my children 10 years ago, they would have gotten a different parent.
Right.
That is wild to think about. High school is like you're still processing your own stuff.
Of course.
And that makes so much sense that you're saying like they had their own stuff and you're trying to like help fix it as a little girl.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense though, why you were picking these people.
Absolutely. It was projects, especially after being so hurt. I was like, okay, I really gave my heart to someone who I thought could hold it. And so I know what I'm good at. I'm good at helping other people. And so, it's not all conscious. I've really reflected on this. And I think I then got into something where I was like, I know my role here. I can help somebody. And in the end, of course, it was like, there was so many secrets and cheating and disloyalty that I am usually the most intuitive person, but I was so focused on feeling bad for this person because I did love them. I had so much love for them that all of those like intuitions were completely suppressed.
With what you went through as a child, though, it makes sense that your picker was not the picker that you deserve.
For sure.
How, through each of these relationships, have you gotten to a place where you feel like you love yourself enough to attract someone who is worth your time?
I think it's being self-aware and really reflecting, like, I could sit and be like, it's not fair. I was cheated on. I was lied to. I was this. Or I could be like, why have I put myself in that position? And I'm a really like analytical thinker. I want to understand all of my thoughts.
You seem very
always.
cerebral.
Yeah. It's a great thing. Sometimes it gets a little too much where I'm like, okay, just let it go and move on. But I think looking back, I'm like, how, what are my patterns? How have I gotten into that? It was almost like I got into the fixer. I need to fix him. And then I went into another relationship after that was complete settling. It was almost like I had to try different directions to realize more things about myself. And once I was in the one that was settling, I was like, I just woke up one day, and this was only like a 10-month relationship, but I woke up one day being like, no, this is not what I do. And that was almost the worst one, because it was like a slap in the face to myself. It was like, you did this to yourself. You chose this person, and, he didn't try to be anything he wasn't. And I don't mean for this to sound egotistical at all, but it was like, I am so much higher than, and not like better, but like I'm so much more in tune, and I can call something in that is on the level I'm at.
You're out of alignment with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be able to recognize that, you're right, is really self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
I believe with everything in life and my life that everything is happening for you. I really believe that.
Yeah.
I think you can look back, even if you like look back on everything that you've been through and you're here now. Mm-hmm. Look at everything that you've learned that's helped you get in alignment to be where you are. You almost have to like course correct to get here.
For sure. And I think what's interesting, and I know we'll get into, but it's also funny that, our bodies, what I've really realized too about going through any health issues or hormone issues is that our bodies are always trying to tell us something. And I have never had a period in a relationship. The day I break up with somebody, I get my period. And the day I get into a relationship, I lose it. I am now in a relationship and have had a healthy cycle, and also it's the healthiest relationship I've been in by far. I honestly didn't even know it was possible for something to be, I don't like to use the word easy, but to be honest, it is 1,000,000 times easier than anything I've ever been in. And I just now can look back and be like, oh my gosh, I was so mad at my body for not working properly. But really, it was just protecting me, I think, from being with the wrong person.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because if you had your period, you could have gotten pregnant with one of these people.
Uh-huh. And I think it's also, to get a little woo-woo, the healer that I've worked with is like, of course my mother didn't want to have me in high school. I wasn't planned. It doesn't mean that I was like, my mom did the best job ever as a friggin' 16-year-old, incredible. But I think you can, when you're in the womb, take some energy from your mom. And I think there's been fear in me growing up of having a child with the wrong person. Because no offense to my father, but I think my mom's thought that a lot of times,
That is so true.
Yeah.
I am the most woo-woo.
Yeah.
And I totally agree that the baby picks up
100%.
on all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've flipped 3 kids in my stomach.
Oh, you're
that were
one
breech.
of those.
Like,
That's
because
so
they
cool.
can feel it. They can feel it. They can feel what you're feeling. If you're sad, you can physically. I mean, people are going to be like, "I'm turning this off," but they absorb how you're feeling, and so that makes a lot of sense. But how freeing and liberating for you to be able to understand that, so you have the tools to move forward and live this beautiful life. Imagine if you didn't think about and have empathy for your mom at 16. Or if you didn't understand maybe how your mother was feeling when she carried you. It's really, to me, it's cool that you have this information.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to switch out of the victim mindset and just see it that way. And once you do, like even nervous system dysregulation's just like annoying because there's so many components to it and you don't understand. And I think I've had so many like inflammation issues and like body aches and pains. And the moment, and this is honestly a really recent thing, the moment I started to like surrender to those uncomfortabilities and be like, this is information, this isn't my body punishing me, it's it trying to show me a sign for something, it alleviates so much.
It's so interesting for me to hear that you have inflammation issues because when I look at you, you guys got to pull up her Instagram if you can't see her or go watch the YouTube, but I mean, I know a lot of people know you. Inflammation would not be on my bingo card for you. You don't look inflamed to me.
Thank you.
Like I don't.
It is a thing though. I will say like I, you know, my boobs go 2 sizes bigger. I will carry 10 pounds of water retention. And like if I really work on my nervous system over 4 days, it will go away.
What does that look like working on your nervous system to get rid of inflammation?
So a lot of the practices that I've learned come from Brian, who I've worked with a lot.
Yeah, tell us about this.
Yeah, so it's hard to title him. I don't even know how he titles himself, but I think it's like cranial reflexology meets fascial work meets, he's just really good at nervous system help, especially with women. And there's a lot of like breath work is really good for me because, you know, some people are like anxious minds. I'm more of an anxious body. And so like I said, I like to understand and know everything. And sometimes my body is reacting and my mind feels good. I'm chill. I'm not anxious. It's not like I have ruminating thoughts, but I will have like, my body feels adrenaline, like it could run a marathon at 10 p.m. And I'm like, what is going on? So I know that my nervous system's dysregulated, or I'll get hives all over my chest, or my eyelashes fall out. Like I don't have any eyelashes anymore, which is also, I guess, a sign of, of mineral deficiency because of nervous system dysregulation.
You got to write a book about the nervous system, Alyssa.
There's so much to it.
Wow.
So I use the app Open and I just will do like a 5-minute breath work or meditation. That has really helped. But when I'm doing those, I literally imagine it's usually my pelvis area that holds trauma or just emotion in general. It blocks me from creativity. It feels really heavy, and it's like every time I like breathe into that area and try and imagine it going down out of my feet, it's amazing. I'll usually like cry for 5 minutes straight and then feel so relieved after.
This is gonna sound off the beaten path.
I'm here for it.
So have you ever gotten work on your pelvic floor where they go up you with fingers?
No.
You got to try it. So, yes, you got to try it.
Okay.
Something's calling me to tell you this.
Okay.
There's a woman in Austin that after I had a baby, your pelvic floor, like think about all that trauma from birth, but also with what you're saying, there's something in your pelvic floor. I mean, this is Dr. Lauryn.
No, I love Dr. Lauryn. Give it to me.
She goes up you with gloves and she adjusts not only your pelvic floor, she almost takes pressure off your organs inside.
Right.
And it is amazing. And she does it for about an hour.
Wow.
She also goes up the butthole. I have not done that one yet. I'm gonna let Taylor be the guinea pig for that one. But
oh my goodness,
this is a real thing. It's like it's cranial sacral inside.
Well, it makes sense if you have organs and muscles and everything up there as well. And it's like, there's only so much. I mean, Brian definitely doesn't go up there. That would.
That's why I
go to a woman.
Oh, you go to a woman.
one.
That's why I'm recommending Dr. Maria in Austin. I'm
Okay.
obsessed with her. She like doesn't even have social media.
Yeah,
She's
that's the best. Love that.
But I think that you should look into adjustment in the pelvic floor.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone listening any recommendations for us, it really for you, I feel like you would love it.
Well, that's the treatment or the sessions that we do. I'm lying down and he pushes on different places in my body and will be like, I mean, I don't even know how he does it. He's like, okay, is it sore here? Yeah, okay, I got to go up to your head now. And now I'm going to put pressure on your head. And I will feel the craziest release. The biggest one, and I don't know if you've ever had this done, is when he puts gloves on and goes inside of my mouth. There's a spot up above your teeth, like up here, up like almost towards your nose. And then back also behind your teeth. And he will put pressure on it, and it is the craziest emotional release. He said he's done it to like Marines that have been carrying so much trauma, and when he does it, they will cry like little babies. And they're like, I haven't cried in 20 years, you know? And one time I did it, bawled my eyes out. The next time I did it, could not stop laughing. It was like, that was my emotional release, like so much, like hysterical laughing.
That's trauma in your fascia. I think.
Is, yeah.
Try that pelvic floor thing.
I'm going to.
It's really, I know, guys, it sounds crazy.
I'm going to. I'm going to fly to Austin to get someone's hands up there.
Next time you're there, I'll set it up for you. And it takes pressure off your hips, especially if you already know what I'm talking about because you did the mouth one.
Yeah.
It's the same vibe. It's just your vagina.
Right. Perfect. Can't wait.
Taylor, don't get any ideas. Taylor's like Googling like pelvic floor banging porn right now. Okay. You never know what you're going to get.
I love it.
How has moving to Ojai and out of LA and out of this energy helped you heal your nervous system? And what are things that you're doing on a daily basis to allow yourself to flourish?
Okay, so I've learned so much, again, about myself throughout this move because, and I'm sure you can relate, the overstimulation here in Los Angeles, especially as someone who's like in the business and always like putting themselves in situations that, you know, people are networking and talking and that it's a lot. And that's why I'm so grateful. I feel like my friend group is quite rare. Everyone is in the industry, but I don't think people realize that 99.9% of the time that is not documented. There's no photos taken. We're off of our phones. It's been thank goodness for them. Like leaving my entire family and moving here as one just by myself, having them is everything. It's been really healing and amazing. But even with that, like LA was just, I was getting too much. And I met someone who really related to me on that. Like he is the best at being so social. And he's incredibly adaptable, which I think is a really great skill. But he wants to be near the grass and the dirt and hear birds chirping in the morning, not sirens and trucks and all of that. So we moved up there and it's so beautiful. We're on like 11 acres and it's so nice. You don't have a neighbor in sight. It's beautiful, right? But then I also realized, and I think this is the funny thing, is that you can talk to people and be like, I'm overstimulated. And they're like, well, you're a highly sensitive person. You need to be, you need to move somewhere, like in the middle of nowhere and doing nothing. What I realized about myself, though, is I also, because I noticed this when I was going to New York, that I loved it. I love New York. I love walking around. I don't like going to New York and having a schedule from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Oof. That is a no good. But I love being there because I think with this incredibly analytical mind of mine and needing to understand everything, it can get to be a lot, like in my head. And so being in New York and being able to observe everybody else and like everything around you and no one's paying attention to you, it's like it gets you out of your mind. And I'm inspired. I'm creatively inspired a lot by that. So it was an interesting thing for me because I almost felt like bored in Ojai. But also my nervous system was taking an exhale, but to an extent, then it would get anxious because I'm like, I'm stuck. I'm not inspired enough. So it's just interesting. You can learn like different things about yourself. And I think obviously not everyone has the ability to travel a lot, but I think that's why like having a home base that is calm, but getting in this phase of life to travel to places that creatively inspire me is the perfect recipe.
That I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I say this all the time, like New York and LA is my mistress. I suck it, I fuck it, and then I get the fuck out and I want to marry the birds and the grass.
Yes.
And I want to wake up and walk in the street with my baby in my pajamas. Like I don't want to run in to anyone. I just want to be low vibes.
Right. I completely feel the same way. I made a TikTok the other day and I was like, I love that I moved to farm town, but I'm in LA right now. I have my freaking overpriced, expensive coconut water matcha. I just went to Skims and bought something that Kylie Jenner was wearing, and I'm a hoe for this shit.
Where is the matcha and what is the thing that you bought that she's wearing?
Oh my gosh. I bought like a one-piece swimsuit because I'm entering that era. From Skims, but
everyone's
it's like
Googling it.
Super fitted. And I was like, I want something more chic. I don't always want like my boobs to just like be out in a bikini, you know?
You do have great boobs.
Thanks. They're a lot sometimes. My mother just got a reduction and she's trying to influence me. And I am like,
don't touch your boobs. They look so good.
I'm going to wait till I have kids, but then maybe like a reduction and a lift.
You know what? I think you look great.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
Dr. Lauryn. So, and then what's the coconut matcha? Where do we get that? That sounds good.
I get it actually right down the street. If I'm getting iced, I get it from Sun Life.
Okay.
And I get the matcha. So they have like already curated recipes for their matcha, but you can custom make them. So I get a matcha iced, no milk, coconut water.
From Sun Life.
From Sun Life. And then I get a little dollop of the coconut cold foam.
Khalil, did you hear that? You should do the Alyssa on the menu.
We did. Yeah.
What?
It's not there anymore. We did it for like a certain amount of time, but we did actually a matcha affogato. So it was pouring matcha on their like ice cream and it was a hit. And then we also did a smoothie. But yeah, I love him and I love Sun Life.
A matcha affogato?
I know, it was fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Quick break to talk about one of our favorite companies, one of our essentials in our routine, and that is Just Thrive Probiotics and their new digestive bitters. If you are somebody who's accepted bloat, cravings, and that post-meal crash after eating as your new normal, I'm challenging you to feel better, and I'm giving you the cheat code, the Just Thrive Gut Essentials bundle that I mentioned previously. It pairs two clinically proven gut superstars, the Just Thrive Probiotic and their digestive bitters. We've had the founder of Just Thrive on this podcast multiple times. I highly suggest you check those episodes out if you're interested in gut health and overall well-being. And on the most recent episode, we dove deep into their new digestive bitters. We've been taking the Just Thrive Probiotic for years and have recently incorporated the bitters, and it's been a game changer. And that's because the Just Thrive Probiotic is the only probiotic clinically proven to arrive 100% alive in your gut for a difference you'll actually feel. We're talking less bloat, better energy, and even clearer skin. Then there's the new digestive bitters. It packs 12 science-backed herbs in one tasteless capsule that jumpstarts your digestion and supports GLP-1 production so cravings don't control you. These two pack a punch, and if you care about gut health, these two together will transform the health and well-being of your gut. What I love is there's even a 100% money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose. And like I said, we love this company. We've been taking them for years. So check them out. Take the Just Thrive Feel Better Challenge today and save 20% on your first Gut Essentials bundle. All you have to do is visit justthrivehealth.com/skinny and save 20% off with promo code skinny. See the difference for yourself or get a full product refund. No questions asked. That's justthrivehealth.com/skinny. Be the best you with Just Thrive.
Watch Running Point Season 2 only on Netflix. Running Point. I talked about this last season. I was telling you how Michael and I had a bowl of popcorn. We watched season 1, and season 2 promises higher stakes as Isla Gordon, Kate Hudson, is determined to prove her leadership of the Los Angeles Waves. She wants to prove it's permanent rather than a surprise, a temporary fix following last year's team scandal. However, she remains unaware that her brother, Cam, Justin Theroux, is secretly maneuvering behind the scenes to reclaim his former job as head of the sports empire. To survive family power plays and intense board scrutiny, Isla must rip up her old playbook and create a new game plan to stay on top. The roster grows this season with star-studded guest appearances from Ray Romano, Max Greenfield, even Octavia Spencer, Nicole Richie, Scott Speedman, and Lisa Rinna. They really have all the bases covered. You should also know that the Los Angeles Lakers' Jeannie Buss and Linda Ramis serve as producers. Watch Running Point Season 2 now, only on Netflix.
When it comes to companies and products that you can trust, Paleo Valley ranks high at the top of companies that we love. We have had the founder, Dr. Autumn Smith, on this podcast twice talking about all the incredible products that they're creating. Whether it's their bone broth protein, their beef sticks, or their organ complex, they have such a wide variety of products that we take on a regular basis. We love keeping their beef sticks in our pantry, at the office, when we travel. Whenever we're on flights, this is what we travel with as a snack. Because their beef sticks are 100% grass-fed and finished venison, they're never given antibiotics or hormones. They're gluten, soy, and dairy-free. There's no seed oils, no added sugar, no artificial nitrates or nitrites, and they're non-GMO and naturally fermented. One of the things they do with their beef sticks is they naturally ferment them. This is how they preserve them, and this is why they're able to use uncompromising ingredients. We also take their bone broth protein. This is one of the best bone broth proteins on the market. I think they have the best flavor. Their chocolate is a go-to when I'm making a smoothie, post-workout, or even if I need to get a little bit of extra protein in. And like I said, we love these products because they use uncompromising ingredients and they actually work. Some of the other standout products that they have is their beef tallow, which is incredible for cooking. They also have an organic extra virgin olive oil. This is going to be one of the most important things for brain health, cardiovascular, cholesterol support. Of course, we also have an incredible offer for our audience. Head to paleovalley.com/skinny or use code skinny at checkout for 20% off your first purchase. That's paleovalley.com/skinny or use code skinny at checkout. Again, also check out the episodes with Dr. Autumn Smith on this show. She's been on twice, and it's also a reason why we love this product so much. Enjoy.
I am very much into a ballet flat right now. There is something about a ballet flat that feels so classic and simple and chic to me. And the one that I've been wearing with my jeans to the office, because I need to be as comfortable as possible when I'm recording or writing, is from Sam Edelman. So they initially sent me a couple different options of their ballet flat, and the one that I like best is the Ally ballet flat. It's soft, it's classic, and it's versatile. I wear this, like I said, with like a dark skinny jean. I'll wear it with a flare. I'll wear it with a boot cut. It's just very, very refined, and I like that I can wear it straight from my house to the office, be so comfortable, get all my work done, and then go back home and slide it off. I'm all about a slide off shoe. Especially with 3 kids. We got to be efficient, right? If you're unfamiliar with Sam Edelman, you have to check them out. Not only do they have shoes, but Sam really captures a modern approach to occasion dressing. Refined, effortless, and very feminine. It's a wardrobe that's built to move seamlessly through the season's most anticipated moments and into what comes next. I like a black ballet flat. I like to keep it simple. This is something that you could wear kind of anywhere. It's great for moms. It's chic. It's elevated. They also have a sling, a kitten heel, a hazel pump, and a sandal, so you can't go wrong. Visit them at samedelman.com to explore everything you need for spring and get 15% off with code SKINNY15. That's samedelman.com, code SKINNY15. What are some beauty things that you do that also have like a little bit of wellness in them? I know you're very into the hacks and the optimization.
You know, not saying this just because I'm here, but the your especially travel size ice roller is everything. I love like a facial ice dunk as well, but sometimes that's incredibly messy and I'm traveling or whatever. So just being able to go everywhere with that is so great. Cause at this point I've branded myself as like the puffy princess where like sometimes I wake up and it's like my eyes are swollen shut. So that whole process to depuff, it's long, but that has saved my life.
You're such a big proponent of the ice roller. I always see, I'm
huge.
like, you're amazing.
Well, and then I created eye patches because I was like, these bags are so crazy that after I ice roll, I want to put something under my eyes to go on a walk or to go get a coffee so people don't see my under eyes.
Are those the green ones?
Yeah, they're not. They just sold out.
Okay, because it's really funny. I was on your Instagram today doing research and I saw you in those green iPads. I didn't realize they were yours.
So I wanted to create my own eye patch, and I was working with ClearStem, and I went to them and I said, I'm going to do this with or without you, but I would love to do it with you because I trust your formulations. I trust your products. I struggled with like dermatitis, which is just like a bitch. You know, it's hard to know why it's happening. And so I went to them and I said, I want them to be infused with matcha because green tea is great for the skin and depuffing. And I also love matcha and it's aesthetic and brand worthy and all of that. So we did it. They said, wake me up all over them. And they're the best eye patches. Like they really are. It's hard to find eye patches that stay on, and I can do like a heated sweat class with them, and they stay on in complete.
I need some of these eye patches.
I'll get you some.
And the best is when you ice roll over the eye patch.
It's
so good.
The best feeling because these ones too, like they already give you that kind of like tingling feeling of waking you up. So with the ice roller over top, it's great. I am thinking about launching my own because people are really sad that they're not there anymore.
It's so funny when I saw your page, I was like, those eye patches are cute. I was like literally about to like look at them and then I was getting my hair cut. So I changed and I saw them. They're like very aesthetic.
Yeah, I think as you know, as someone who owns a very aesthetic wellness brand, like they're important. It's important. It drives people to be curious about it.
How do we get the eye patches if they're sold out?
I know. So working on it.
We love ClearStem. ClearStem's amazing.
ClearStem also launched their own eye patches. So it's very similar, a little different, but very similar. So those are now available.
Well, maybe you can put like a pre-order button for this episode.
I will.
Because that would be really fun for them to be able to go support everything you're doing. What are other things you do? Red light workout. Are we lifting weights? Are you runner? What are you doing?
Okay, so recently I have learned about myself that I don't know. Have you guys ever had anyone on the podcast talk about MCAS? Mast cell activation syndrome or like histamine overload?
I've heard that word, but we've never had anyone on the show. So tell us.
So there's like a few like super talented professionals that honestly like you should get on the show because I feel like MCAS or histamine issues weren't they were more of a rare thing, but since COVID happened, you've heard of long COVID, right? Where people, it has people with long COVID, it has really affected their histamine response. And so a lot of people now, and the more I talk about it with people, I mean, it's just wild how many people are on antihistamines every day.
I have a rash all over my legs right now, and I can't figure out what it's from.
Just try and take a Pepcid or a Claritin and see what happens.
Why? Because it goes away?
That's when I realized it was a histamine thing. I couldn't figure out every time I would go to a lymphatic massage, a buccal massage, I would go and do a crazy hard workout.
Sauna,
I would get so swollen and puffy. And I was like, this is supposed to do the opposite for me, right? And I think, the wellness industry, it's like obsessed with detoxing because we have to. We live in a world where the environment is so bad that we have to detox. But then people are having these histamine responses. So what I think about it is I think about how they kind of describe it as like you have a bucket and everything, like one lymphatic massage is one glass in the bucket. One hard workout is another glass in the bucket. And your body can only handle so much until your histamine is it's overloading and then your histamine responds to it. So mast cell activation syndrome is like your white blood cells are almost firing off alarms at all times because your system is just overloaded. So I started to realize that
like you were doing too much wellness.
I was doing too much. And so
that's interesting.
I'm still figuring out what workouts and what works for me. But if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would go 2 weeks without working out, I would have been like, oh, you're crazy. But that is my reality right now. I'm walking, I'm meditating, and I will do like a 10 to 15 minute, like whether it's Melissa Wood workout or Megan Roop workout, like at my house, because I just feel like I can trust that, versus I used to go into that heated room every day and do, you know, a really intense workout, and it just started not working for me.
I'm not a fan of the heat.
Yeah,
the
it's
heated
hard on the
workouts.
system.
I love sauna,
Me too.
but I'm not a fan of heated rooms. It
Well,
feels
it's
like
a
it's a lot of
lot.
bacteria.
Totally.
Well, I don't know why I've always felt like that.
Yeah, it needs to be a really clean studio too to like make my mind at ease.
But then also I'm like, but then we're putting Windex all over the studio and then we're heating it up. I've always, there's something about that feels.
No, you're really onto something too, because I feel like everyone gets obsessed with something, and then, you know, it's our society. We get obsessed with one thing and we don't realize that if you do that too intensely, there are repercussions. It's like if you only focus on protein, then you're gonna lack fiber, and like, you know what I mean.
Also, if you what I'm seeing too is people eating too much meat, and then you get iron.
Exactly.
You have an iron influx, and
Exactly.
and that's a problem. You're so right, and you're really onto something with that. I hate to say the word balance, but it is like a balancing act of like not going too hard. I'm such an intense person.
Me too.
Like when I cold plunge, I want to be in there for 5 minutes in the most freezing cold, and it needs to be so. Michael is, he's a fourth Japanese, so he eats until he's 80% full and he's done, and like.
What's that like?
It's so weird to watch.
I'm like,
I've never heard him
that
crave.
must be so nice. That must be his mind must just be
It's
kind
insane.
of like, gosh, I'm jealous of that, because I'm not the same. And I think this is what I mean is this is just me trying to break certain too intense habits.
It's hard. Like I want the water freezing cold, and that's not like you want it like. I feel like the intensity has got to be a response to something though. Like
Right.
Like what is it that like makes you want to be so intense?
Well, I think too, I think back to, you know, my childhood and where I grew up. Like, no shade to anyone where I grew up, but they are all doing the same job. And they're coasting. And maybe some of them are really happy. But to me, viewing that growing up, terrifying. Like, terrifying. I was always, I mean, at 6 years old, I sat my family down and I was like, I'm going to move to Hollywood and I will miss you. And it's like a joke we all joke about now, because they always thought I was full of shit. And the moment I graduated, I was like, bye guys. And I just wanted to be around like people who were so inspiring. And so you have to go through times of being intense, you know? I think I heard you and Michael talking about one time of like how there was a point in your guys' career where you're like, you don't sleep. You go intense, but like that's a phase of life. And then at a certain point, you have to also be like, okay, I get to sleep now. I get to create this life because I went through the intensity, that I now get to create a life that I'm able to manage the intensity. I have the tools now, and I'm also going to take time to not be so intense.
I think you're right. I think the intensity works until it doesn't.
Exactly.
And if you can't pivot when the intensity works, you end up being very burnt out.
Totally.
Let's take a quick break to talk about Momentum and their Momentum Shake. Here's something that drives me absolutely nuts. There are so many different supplements out there, so many different vitamins, so many different things that we're trying to take every single day. It can become completely overwhelming. That doesn't mean we don't want to get all these ingredients in. We don't want to try these supplements, and we don't want to get things that we know are right for our body. This is why I love Momentum and the Momentum Shake, because it helps you stop the guesswork. It gives you the right ingredients, the right dose, and the right form all in one place. And simplicity is the point. It's just one thing every morning and replaces 20 plus supplements in a single scoop in 5 great flavors. My favorite flavor is the chocolate, but they also have vanilla, peanut butter, matcha, berry, whatever's your fancy. I personally always go with the chocolate because it reminds me of a chocolate shake. And what I love about it is this is a morning routine that you can actually follow. It's something that's simple. It's easy. All you have to do is put a single scoop into your favorite beverage. All you have to do is take a single scoop and you're getting a ton of beneficial ingredients. They're prebiotics, they're omega-3s, they're digestive enzymes. They have the protein in the colostrum, the collagen. Like I said, there's so many things that we talk about regularly on this show. But for many of us, we're overwhelmed. There's a million things going on. There's kids, there's works, and sometimes you just want to get something that can pack one big punch all in one place that also tastes good. This is, again, why I love the Momentum Longevity Shake, because it gets it all done simply and effectively. So check them out. Give them a try. Go to momentumshake.com/skinny and simplify your supplement intake. Get Momentum today, and they'll send you a free welcome kit and travel collection, a $70 value to get started. Live better, longer with Momentum. Again, that's momentumshake.com/skinny.
This episode is brought to you by American Beverage. Want clear, transparent information about your favorite beverages? We do too. That's why today's sponsor, American Beverage, launched Good to Know. It's a new platform with tons of information on your favorite beverages. No spin or judgment, just the facts. On goodtoknowfacts.org website, you can explore 140 plus common beverage ingredients in one place for the first time. I love having a resource that gives me clear facts so I can make the choices I know are right for me and my family. What I like about this is it puts you in the driver's seat, so you know what's best for you and your family, and now you can get clear information about what's in your drinks without having to dig through confusing websites. Visit www.goodtoknowfacts.org for more information. That's www.goodtoknowfacts.org. This episode is brought to you by Xyzal. I am so allergic to cats. The worst. And I use Xyzal Allergy 24-hour. Okay, if you're like me, if I even smell a cat, I don't feel good the next day. So it's really important that I always have my Xyzal Allergy 24-hour relief in my handbag. It starts working, and I can tell you guys this quick. It's in as little as 45 minutes. Xyzal relieves allergy symptoms, including sneezing, runny nose, itchy, watery eyes. I get a lot of watery eyes. And an itchy nose and throat for 24 hours. It gives you continuous 24 allergy relief that won't fade. It's also designed to be taken at night, so it's already working at full strength in the morning when pollen levels are the highest. I'm also sensitive to pollen, and Austin is difficult. 24-hour prescription strength relief from outdoor allergies such as pollen, ragweed, grass, and trees. And then you also are going to get relief from those indoor allergens, such as dust, mold, pet dander. Visit www.xyzal.com for more information. That's XYZAL.com for more information. Eden Rock St. Bart's times The Skinny Confidential. This collaboration has been years in the making. I have been going to Eden Rock properties for a very long time, and I fell in love with the way that they thought about branding. Every single detail, they don't miss anything. It's such an experience. And when I thought about what brand I wanted to collaborate with, Eden Rock immediately came to mind. So we went down to St. Bart's and we sat with their team and we conceptualized what this collaboration would look like. And so it's here. After a year and a half, it is live. The Eden Rock St. Bart's times Skinny Confidential red ice roller. It's in their signature red. It has a gorgeous, look at this. Silver roller. It's so beautiful. It's very summer, I could see this in an ice bucket while you're on the beach enjoying some rosé or a margarita. Goes right in the ice. And then we also launched mouth tape. So it's red too. So you're going to get those red lips, very summer-esque. And again, it's in the Eden Rock St. Bart's branding. And then we launched facial towels. Everything is limited edition. It's very exclusive. Once it's gone, it's gone. And these facial towels are plastic free. They don't have any formaldehyde in them. And they're so adorable to throw in your beach bag. I use them to wipe my kids' hands. I use them after an oil cleanse. This collection is so major. I'm so excited about it. And it's so fun to see the Skinny Confidential come to life in red. You can shop our collaboration at the link in the show notes or on shopskinnyconfidential.com. And if you're at the Eden Rock St. Bart's property, you can also shop at the Eden Rock St. Bart's boutique and the spa. Eden Rock St. Bart's, wherever you are. You have to come back on the show with Michael too, because I feel like we got some girl talk out of the way. But before you go, you have to tell us about your morning and nighttime routine rituals, because I feel like you're probably really ritualistic.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I am.
That doesn't surprise me.
My morning, I mean, it's nothing like revolutionary, but my morning is
okay.
Is sunlight first thing. Like you can ask my boyfriend. He grabs the phone and I'm so offended. I'm offended.
It's actually disgusting. I think it's so gross. We can't open an eyelid without grabbing the phone. I'm sorry.
I get
I don't
cold,
like it.
and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "You've just been."
Have you ever seen the throw up emoji? Like the one that's like barfing everywhere?
that's how I
feel
feel
when Michael does that.
That's
I'm like,
how I feel.
It's a turnoff.
Oh, and I like this like wave of like anger comes over me. I want to grab it and throw it. And I want to.
No one's ever said that the way. Like I feel the same way. I'm like angry.
No, I'm annoyed. So I open the blinds and I get sunlight because that's what's good for our eyes. And I used to do like hot water with lemon and all of these supplements. And to be honest, I've realized that less is more. I just kind of cut all the supplements right now. And I'm just like drinking water. Like, I know it's crazy, but like, yeah, hydrate. It feels good. It feels great. And then I do this thing called journal speak. Have you heard of that? It's been really helping me. You pretty much, Nicole Sachs created it. You write down everything you're thinking in your brain. It can be, and it usually is so ruthless. Like it is not things you would usually, it's like the opposite of manifesting. Like if you
Is it like the morning pages?
No,
different.
It's like I am worthless. I'm useless. I feel fat. I feel like, I mean, like you wouldn't want to see my pages. It's bad. But what you do is you write and you're kind of like rage writing. And then you rip it up and you throw it away. And it's really therapeutic and nice.
And after you see him on the phone, you can be like,
yeah.
Fuck this
He's
guy.
awful.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Ew.
Yeah, so I do that, and then I make a matcha, or I go get one, and I just like go on a walk, and that's my morning routine.
I'm gonna tell all you girls out there something. All you girls that don't have children, you better be enjoying your matcha morning where you can.
Oh, I'm trying every moment I
enjoy
get.
Every second.
I know.
I will pick up a pen and sit down at the table. It gets ripped out of my hand. I'm hungry. There's not, right as I'm about to write my rage. No.
You need to like lock yourself in a closet.
But that's okay. I'm in this phase in my life and I love it. And it's so intense in the morning with children. But my point is to everyone who does not have children now is love your morning.
I know.
Embrace your morning.
Romanticize the shit out of it.
Yes, because if you do end up having kids, that changes. Like we were talking about phases.
Yeah.
And if I were you, I would sip that matcha so slow and relaxed, and I would just write as slow as you can and just enjoy it and embrace this chapter of your life. And I mean, my advice is don't like feel like you have to like rush anything. Just be in the moment. It's really amazing. I look back on my mornings before kids and it's different. And not one's better than the other. They're both very fulfilling.
Totally.
It's just, I just think people who do not have children need to understand that you're lucky.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing worse than seeing someone who doesn't have children and has the ability to have that morning of freedom that doesn't take advantage of it and goes into full, like, got to get to work at 7:30 and then my meeting's at 8:30 and then this. I'm like, just breathe. Like, slow down.
Breathe and do your journal speak. I'm going to do that maybe, though, when Michael picks up his phone and I'm alone in a hotel.
Yes, you should.
I'm going to send you something really funny. Okay. Thank you for coming on. Where can everyone find you if they want to check out the iPads? Where can they grab them? Maybe they're on pre-order?
Well, yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yes, you can look on Clearstem's website. There still might be some available. They're available until they're sold out, and then I might just make my own. So stay tuned for that. But you can find me at Alyssa Lynch on all platforms.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.